Not every gemstone was made for beauty. Some were made for silence, others for clarity, and a few for something that has no direct name. Welcome back to World of Gem. If this is your first time here, we're glad you found us. Every week, we explore the hidden stories, forgotten rituals, and rare stones that shaped human history, one gem at a time. If you'd like to see more content like this, your support helps us keep going, quietly and in detail. Across excavation sites, temple floors, and private rituals never documented publicly, certain stones keep reappearing. Not because they sparkle, but because they change what happens around them. None of them belong in museums. Most of them were never traded in volume. But for the small groups of people who know what to look for, ritual historians, gem therapists, mineralogical purists, these 5 gemstones are known for one thing. They don't ask to be believed. They just stay exactly where they need to be. In this list, you won't find diamonds, no sapphires, nothing with a marketing campaign. What you'll find instead are 5 angelic stones, each linked, directly or indirectly, to non-verbal rituals, forgotten burial placements, and in at least one case, a crystal that appears to have imprinted flight into stone. The stone ranked 5th dissolves under pressure. The one ranked 4th can't be cut without losing its axis. The 3rd isn't worn, but kept under beds and behind walls. The 2nd isn't used for protection, but for stillness above the breath. And then there's the 1st, a mineral so visually unusual it was dismissed as a decorative oddity for decades, until private buyers started requesting it not by name, but by pattern, feathered, symmetrical, directed. Its current market price, difficult to confirm. Open auction data is scarce, but in 2024, a private transaction recorded in Zurich transferred 3 hand-sized polished slabs, no gem setting, no certification, for just under $19,000. No bidding, no press. The buyer's request was specific. All pieces must show the same vector. What does that mean? We'll get there, but not all at once. Top 5. Scolecite, the silent bridge to the angelic plane. Scolecite isn't a gemstone that commands auction headlines. It doesn't sparkle, doesn't scream for attention. But in temple ruins across India and volcanic caves in Iceland, it keeps appearing. Always near sites of ritual silence, never far from meditation stones or buried ceremonial tools. Geologically, Scolecite belongs to the zeolite family, forming needle-like crystal sprays in ancient volcanic rock. The most prolific deposits lie in the Deccan Traps of Maharashtra, India, a plateau formed by one of Earth's largest lava flows. In the quarries near Nasik, miners use delicate blades and soft brushes, not chisels, to extract the fragile mineral. One wrong move, and the entire cluster crumbles. Its appearance is unmistakable, white to pearlescent fibers, sometimes radiating like frozen fireworks, sometimes growing inward in near-perfect symmetry. Some rare samples show a soft pink or bluish glow under certain lighting. But what makes Scolecite remarkable isn't how it looks, it's where it shows up. At a temple excavation in Tamil Nadu in 2011, archaeologists uncovered 7 Scolecite rods arranged in a circle beneath a stone meditation platform. No gold, no idol, just these silent crystals pointing inward. Local researchers suggested it was part of a trance ritual, designed not to summon spirits, but to still the self. In modern spiritual circles, Scolecite is considered a high-frequency angelic stone. Healers say it facilitates deep meditative states, emotional clarity, and even non-verbal communion with higher realms. Whether those claims hold scientifically is still debated, but its repeated presence in ritual sites from southern India to the monasteries of Iceland is no coincidence. As jewelry, Scolecite is rare, not because it's expensive, but because it's hard to work with. Its fibrous structure resists cutting, and most stones must be stabilized with resin to survive mounting. Finished pendants range from $80 to $250, while large ritual specimens with intact crystal sprays can fetch over $500, especially when sourced from historically significant mines. You won't see Scolecite in designer catalogs, but in the quiet corners of healing rooms, temple altars, and personal sanctuaries, it remains unchanged, unpromoted, and somehow essential. Scolecite belongs to the top 4. Danburite. Clarity without question. Danburite was never meant to dazzle. Its brilliance isn't in color, nor fire, nor scarcity. What sets it apart is clarity, of structure, of presence, of purpose. Geologically, Danburite is a calcium-boron silicate with an unusually high refractive index for a non-quartz mineral. Its crystal habit often mimics topaz, growing in long terminated prisms. Under the microscope, it's clean. Under ritual, it's considered incorruptible. The first known discovery was in Danbury, Connecticut, in 1839, hence the name. But gem-quality Danburite would not emerge until much later, and not in the United States. Instead, it was found in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, a region better known for its silver veins and colonial mining ruins. There, in low-yield pockets deep within limestone-hosted cavities, Danburite forms in pale yellow to near colorless crystals, sometimes exceeding 10 centimeters in length. The most sought after are transparent, unclouded, and terminated with natural dome-shaped tips. Miners in the region harvest Danburite using microfracture techniques, delicate tapping around the host rock to avoid damage. Unlike harder gemstones, Danburite bruises easily. One wrong angle, and the tip shatters. For this reason, most specimens sold for spiritual use are left uncut, preserving the terminations and with them the energetic axis they're believed to hold. Danburite's reputation among metaphysical circles surged in the 1990s. It was described as a purifier of personal agendas, used not to amplify desire, but to dissolve it. Healers claimed it activated both the heart and crown chakras simultaneously, an unusual pairing associated with ego surrender and higher alignment. Whether one believes that or not, the pattern of usage is consistent. Across multiple continents, Danburite is not worn as adornment. It is placed at the center of meditation rooms, beneath pillows during dream work, or in the corners of ceremonial grids designed for detachment. Its clarity is not just optical, it's ritual. Still, gem traders have begun to notice. In the past decade, select lapidaries have cut high-clarity Danburite into brilliant cuts, targeting the collector market. Prices remain moderate, $200 to $800 per carat, depending on size and origin. But pieces over 5 carats, unheated. Top 3. Angelite. The weight that listens among the stones once mistaken for chalk. Few have traveled so far, or remained so quiet, as Angelite. A soft, opaque blue mineral formed from the compression of anhydrite, Angelite is not ancient by geological standards. It forms in arid sedimentary basins where water has long since vanished, leaving behind layers of compressed calcium sulfate. Its most notable deposits sit beneath the Andes in central Peru. Quarries near the Huancavelica region, long abandoned for silver and mercury, now yield clusters of pale blue stone, easily carved, easily broken. In raw form, it feels almost warm to the touch, with a texture somewhere between ceramic and compacted talc. But archaeologists weren't drawn to it because of its look. What caught their attention was its placement. In several late Inca ceremonial caches, particularly those linked to sky deities, Angelite was found in small, palm-sized ovals, never set in gold, never inscribed, just placed, sometimes wrapped in llama wool, sometimes buried beside bones, and always near tools linked to non-verbal rites, bells without clappers, pipes sealed shut. Chemical analysis confirms the specimens were not native to those specific valleys, meaning the stones were brought in deliberately across distance and elevation. When asked why, local Quechua oral historians offered only one phrase: to carry sound that wasn't spoken. Geologically, Angelite's softness makes it unsuitable for faceting. It scratches at Mohs 3.5, softer than glass, and dissolves on contact with water, but it takes polish well. Artisans in Lima, Cusco, and Arequipa have carved it into spheres, thumb stones, and flat pendants for generations. No cutting wheel, just sanding, oiling, and hand-shaping. In modern metaphysical circles, Angelite is associated with communication through silence, especially in grief, dreamwork, and ancestral invocation. Crystal practitioners avoid pairing it with loud stones or metals. In certain traditions, it's never worn. It's placed beneath the pillow, above the sternum, or on handwritten letters, never meant to be sent. Economically, Angelite remains affordable. Most pieces sell between $20 to $80, depending on polish and origin. But old ritual-carved stones, especially pre-1980 Peruvian pieces, are now entering private collections quietly, acquired not for resale, but for ritual conservation. Top 2. Celestite. Sound that never touched. The air Celestite is not carved, it's not worn, and for most of human history, it wasn't even touched, only placed, often in open bowls or stone alcoves designed not to contain it, but to let something pass through it. Geologically, Celestite is strontium sulfate, forming in sedimentary cavities left behind by evaporated seas. It appears in globe-shaped clusters, often embedded inside geodes, with crystals ranging from clear to ice blue. The largest known concentrations lie beneath Madagascar's Mahajanga Basin, where ancient reef beds gave way to hollow limestone domes. Extraction is almost architectural. Workers follow echo patterns, tapping the cavern walls with soft mallets to locate internal chambers. Once breached, the crystal interiors appear untouched by time, sharp, angular, and faintly translucent. The most prized specimens are never removed whole. They're split into hemispheres and sold as mirrored pairs. But archaeological finds suggest Celestite wasn't used as decoration. In the ruins of pre-Islamic shrines in Tunisia, small geode halves have been found placed along ceiling lines, not visible from below, but acoustically resonant. Similar arrangements appear in 12th century Sufi meditation cells, where polished Celestite shards were pressed into the plaster of domed ceilings. In those spaces, the question wasn't what Celestite looked like, it was how it responded. Some researchers propose that Celestite's arrangement in semicircular arcs above meditation areas allowed it to reflect subtle frequencies, barely audible overtone rings produced by breath, chant, or silence itself. Whether the stone amplified sound or simply absorbed it is still under debate. But what's consistent is this: where Celestite appears in ritual space, sound is absent, yet attention is heightened. In modern metaphysical use, Celestite is classified as a high-vibration stone, aligned with the throat and crown chakras, associated with divine communication, dream clarity, and what some call inner listening. It's rarely set in jewelry due to its brittleness, Mohs hardness of 3 to 3.5, and tendency to fracture under temperature shifts. Most Celestite pieces are sold in their natural crystalline form. Prices vary. Small display geodes range from $40 to $150, while larger matched pairs or cathedral-grade formations from Madagascar can reach $1,000 or more. But in spiritual, top 1. Seraphinite. Structure that imitates flight. Seraphinite is one of the few stones that resembles meaning before it's explained. Not through legend, not through name, but through pattern. Geologically, Seraphinite is a chlorite-rich variety of Kleiner chlor, found almost exclusively in the Lake Baikal region of southeastern Siberia. The mineral forms in metamorphic schists, rock layers that were once ocean floor sediment, transformed by tectonic heat and pressure. Within that compression, chlorite crystallizes in fibrous plumes that fan outward in radial layers. When polished, the result is unmistakable. Deep green backgrounds, crossed by silvery, feathery striations. Not random, not fractal, but deliberate in form, as if growing toward something. This visual structure is what gave the stone its name. Seraphinite, after the seraphim, the highest order of angels in Judeo-Christian angelology, described as beings with multiple wings layered in light. The naming did not come from religious authorities, but from gem carvers in 20th century Russia, who noted the stone's feathered symmetry and likeness to movement, even while still. But unlike other so-called angelic stones, Seraphinite was never found in tombs or temples. Its use appears more personal than priestly. In ethnographic records from remote Buryat communities in southern Siberia, small polished discs of green chlorite stone, likely Seraphinite, were kept in cedar boxes, alongside fragments of bird bone and folded birch bark. No inscriptions, no trade markings, just quiet grouping. These objects were associated not with gods, but with ancestral orientation, particularly during the crossing of large forested distances. Seraphinite was not considered protective. It was considered clarifying, something carried not to ward off spirits, but to re-establish internal direction in unfamiliar territory. In modern crystal practice, Seraphinite is known for its link to the heart and crown chakras, used in rituals of elevation, transformation, and self-alignment. It is one of few metaphysical stones said to encourage both release and renewal simultaneously. Whether one believes this or not, the visual language of the stone remains powerful. It appears already in motion, already ascending. From a commercial standpoint, Seraphinite remains moderately priced. Most jewelry-grade cabochons sell between $50 and $200, with museum-quality slabs reaching $1,000 or more, especially when the feathered patterns are symmetrical and unbroken. But collectors rarely resell. Once acquired, the stone is usually kept close, in altars, pockets, or quiet drawers lined with cedar,